I really do like when people come to the board and share their experiences of what it's like to quit using this product or to have quit using for some time now, maybe weeks, maybe months, maybe years. And I think sometimes you will get the impression that I don't want everyone to post their opinions or their experiences of what they're feeling like. I want the people who are feeling good to talk about it, and the people who are not feeling good yet, either emotionally, physically, whatever way. That, oh no, hopefully they don't come. That's not true. I actually don't mind when people come in who basically are still having a rough time and sometimes having a lousy attitude, uh, but they're not using. They're still off. These people do serve a purpose. That purpose is there's other people who may quit and have that kind of experience too. They're not happy they quit, but they're off. See, that's the key difference. If people are coming in and complaining about how, they can't quit because of how lousy they feel, or they were off and they lost the quit because of how lousy they feel. Well, that doesn't do a whole lot of good. If they're there because they want to quit again and they want to try to get help, oh, that's fine. But if they're just coming in day after day and week after week and talking about how miserable they were from having quit, so they're just using again. Well, no, that doesn't help much. Doesn't help them really. It doesn't help anybody else on the board. But people coming here and complaining of issues, for longer time periods, they're reaching people who might be having a harder time period, either at the moment that it's not a longer term quit, or maybe it is a little bit of a longer term quit, and thinking like, there's no way they could stay off. With how bad they're feeling or how unhappy they are, there's no way they can stay off this product. And then they see someone who's been off for, a month or two or three, saying that, yeah, they're feeling crummy, they're complaining, but they're not using. It shows, hey, even someone like that can stay off and are benefiting, even if they're not saying it, they are likely benefiting a lot by being off. I have one good example of this. I used to do panels in my smoking clinics where people and anybody was invited in. I did not, make it where no, only if you're happy could you come to the panel. I used to leave it open ended. Now, most people who came to the panel. Again, it was different people all the time, although there were some people who were regulars. Most people who came in, oh, they were thrilled. They loved that smoking. They were gloating about it and gloating not in a superior way, but just saying how much better they feel and how they hope everybody could do this. And you could see the enthusiasm. But I would have panelists who came in again, weeks or months, in one case it was years, off of smoking, who sounded worse than probably anybody else in that clinic who had only been off for 4 days now as far as attitude wise. Like they were just, they were just so unhappy because they were not using. But the message he was trying to give to that group, and he said it was, but I'm still off. I'm still doing this. He wasn't worried about he was going back. He started somewhere along the way. He realized the value he was getting, even if he couldn't qualify it to himself. He knew it was better. I have a video talking about how to acknowledge the negative, but dwell on the positive. And he was the basis of how I created that particular letter. And the video in there is specifically talking about him and how it was like 4 years into his quit. He all of a sudden changed and the background on how that happened. I am going to put that video because the concepts in that video were just not about him. It was going into a broader range, but his experience, I think there's people here who are going to resonate with it of how, even though he was negative for so long, he stayed off and eventually was no longer negative. Something changed. And that video covers on what changed that made him realize, he wasn't as miserable as he used to be about this whole thing. So anyway, I'm going to put the video link into the description here, and it's a little bit of a long video. I think it was like 13 minutes, but it's worth it. It's a interesting uh, analysis of what attitude, how it can really help you to stay off. But even if you don't develop it, even if you don't get that attitude, you can still stay off. And that's an important message. Either way, if you feel good about your quit, if you feel lousy about your quit, you're benefiting from your quit. And either way, if you want to or realize you need to keep this quit going for whatever reason it was that got you to stop in the first place, if you realize that's the case, just understand all you need to do to keep it going is finally, just make and stick to a personal commitment to never administer nicotine again from any source.